Hey there, I'm Kat, and this is Brews and Reviews. It's day 6 of the Because We Can Readathon, the musical round. If you want to know any more information about the readathon, then go check out the link in the description below. So today's round is based on Six, the musical, a musical that I personally love with all my heart, even though I have yet to see it, which I will be rectifying someday soon. So Six, the musical, is based on the 6 wives of Henry VIII, and they sort of tell their story in song to sort of see who had it worst, and it's very fun, a great musical. I could listen to the songs over and over again. So today's creative challenge is a play on the Kiss, Marry, Kill game, except we're doing Divorced, Beheaded, and Survive. And we have to decide which characters we would divorce, behead, or let live and be free. So I have a cup full of names because why not? There are a bunch of characters that I like and a bunch of characters that I dislike. Who knows what could come out of here? Let's get to it. I am quite excited for this because I don't know, I feel like I could behead a lot of people. I go mad with power. So first up we have Haymitch from the Hunger Games. So I like Haymitch, he's a good character. He might drive me a little bit nuts with his drunkenness, so we'll see. We'll see who else is in this pile. And we have Christina from Divergent, who was a character that always annoyed me because I think it was that she didn't know how to sort of look at the bigger picture. But it has been a while since I've read Divergent. I just remember her annoying me. And then we have Scarlet Dragna. Scarlet Dragna from the Caraval series. Now, my opinions of Scarlet did change after I read Legendary, which is the sequel book, and she is the main character of that one. However, the first book, she really got on my nerves. She was very selfish, and her brain just works in a way that I couldn't understand. So annoying. So I feel like this is pretty easy. Well, from the sense of I know who is going to survive this, and that is Haymitch Abernathy. I mean, he's probably sad about it because he's not got much going for him, but you know, he can live in peace for the rest of his days. That would be good for him. And then I would divorce Christina because we probably have an argument and she couldn't see the bigger picture of why we were having the argument. And I'd be like, listen, Christina, you're just gonna have to get going because I'm not staying married to you. But also it's not quite bad enough for me to be like, off with your head, so divorced. And then Scarlet Dragna. Purely from the fact that I've recently reread Caraval and I'm like, you were so annoying. The worst, and I really didn't like her, so she's gone. So round number 2 we have Arrow from the Twilight Saga. Feel like I know what's gonna happen to him, but who knows, they could be worse. Oh, Feyre from A Court of Thorns and Roses, who I like as a character. There are some things about her that would annoy me, but I also relate to her a lot, so I'm like, probably she's probably gonna survive. And then we have Mika Moon from the Secret Society of Irregular Witches. That has really put a spanner in the works for me. So let's take a look at this. Obviously I'm going to behead Arrow because he is just a villain, but not the kind of villain that is like, hey, he's a villain. He's like, no, gross, villain. Ugh. So he's been beheaded. I really like Mika Moon, but I really like Feyre more. So I think I would probably divorce Mika Moon, and what I would do is give her money so she can like settle down and do all of her witchy things and, you know, have a good life afterwards, and, you know, it'd be like a happy divorce because she's nice. And then I would let Feyre survive because she probably would anyway because she is a fae and has like immortality unlike me. So that's that decision made. Let's go for round 3. Valak from the Poison Study series, who I like. Yeah, I like him as a character. And then we have Xander. Xander from what? Lapland Underground. Oh, okay. He's somewhat nice, but also makes some very questionable decisions with the people that he is in relationships with. Like, very questionable. Super questionable. So I feel like Valak would be like a better partner. Alright, who else have I got here? Will Herondale. Oh, Okay. Oh, right. Okay, so this is where I make an unpopular decision here. I'm going to behead Will Herondale. So I stopped reading the Cassandra Clare books after I finished The Mortal Instruments and Infernal Devices, and the only ones that I actually still have on my shelves are the Infernal Devices. But as much as I like Will Herondale at the end of the series, Will Herondale, throughout the whole first and second books, I wanted to punch him throughout the whole thing because he was just so selfish. He just didn't even think about the simplest way to not hurt other people's feelings. He was just an asshole, so I'm sorry, but he's going to be beheaded. And then we have Xander and we have Valak. And listen here, I'm gonna divorce Valak simply because I feel like he wouldn't hold it against me and he would go on with his life and he'd go off and do more like work things and assassin-y type things and it would be fine. Whereas if I divorced Xander, I feel like he would murder me because he is in a gang and he doesn't like do good things. So he's gonna survive simply because I don't want him to murder me. Yeah. Although really I would have stayed married to Valak longer because he's a way nicer character. So, round 4. First character is... Oh, 2 characters. Okay then. Olive from the Love Hypothesis. Forgot for a second there. She's nice, yeah. I haven't really got a problem with her in any way, so not looking like she'll be the beheaded. And then, oh, Kelsier from the Mistborn trilogy. He's not like the most honest man, so I feel like... Yeah. And then Daisy Jones. Daisy Jones. Okay, so this is an interesting set of people in that I don't want to kill any of them. That's annoying. Right, I'm married to these people, so I'm going to think about it with how much that they would annoy me, and I will say right now that Daisy Jones would annoy the hell out of me. Because she would be getting high all the time and doing rock star stuff, and I'd be like, I just want to sit down and have a quiet cup of tea and a nap and we'll listen to soothing music, and she'd be all like, ah! And then having a breakdown, and it would just, we wouldn't work. And I don't want to behead any of the other 2, so I'm sorry Daisy, but it's just not going to work out, and your head and your body aren't going to work out together either, so sorry. So now between Kelsier and Olive, I feel like I'm going to divorce Kelsier because his plans are more far-reaching than mine and he will need to go off and do revolutionary things. And Olive will survive because she's just Olive. She'll just be going on with her plans, and eventually she'll meet a very tall man who is, by definition, just tall. It'll be great. I don't know what round we're on, but let's go again! Oh, okay, we have Rowan from the Throne of Glass series, who I love. I love Rowan, he's great. And we also have Zafir from Take a Hint, Danny Brown. Oh my. Oh no. Okay, please give me someone I don't like, otherwise I won't be able to... Thank the Lord, it's President Snow, saying that I never thought would come out of my mouth. Yeah, so obviously I'm gonna, you know, President Snow, he's gone, beheaded, died. So now let's make a decision on Rowan and Zafir. Like, so, no, I don't want to. Can I just be married to them both? I mean, I know I get to die and stuff, but essentially when they are survived, we have stayed married until my death, which is nice. Listen, I don't know, because both of these men have sadness problems, and I feel like it's almost worse if I die with them, because then they would be really sad about it and have all the grief. And I feel like Zaf has had enough grief from the passing of his dad, and I feel like Rowan has had enough grief from, like, the passing of, like, most people that he knows. But, right, I feel like Zafir would be able to get over it and process his grief in a healthy way. So I think I will choose Zafir as the person who has survived, and I will divorce Rowan. I don't think he'd hold it against me, probably just move away and get on with his life and be like, you were probably going to die in a bit anyway because you're only human. So we'll take that as that. Next round. First person we have is the Darkling, which is a tough person to have for me anyway, because that would be awesome to be married to the Darkling, but also it would be the worst thing ever, so who knows where that one could sit. We also have M from the Luminous Dead, who is the person who's like the handler of the cave person. That could be interesting, because she is good, but also she would keep too many secrets. She doesn't want to tell you things, especially when you're the one putting your life on the line and she's still keeping secrets from you, and I just feel like that would get on my nerves. Oh, and Luke from The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Right, I just feel like it's really unfair that Luke and the Darkling came up together, because they are both like toxic villains that I also really like. I'm going to have to take out my own personal feelings from this equation and probably behead the Darkling, because as much as I am a fan of the Darkling, he does murder a lot of people who are just like innocent bystanders, and I feel like if we were actually married, I'd have a problem with that. If, you know, in fictional head universe, I'm like, oh, I could change him, or, you know, be evil with him, but in the real world, beheaded. So now we have to choose between divorcing and letting survive. I don't think I could stay married to Em. I think her lies would just be too much for me. Luke is like an old god, so I don't really think there's anything I could do to him, even if I wanted to, and he'd probably just be like, nah, we're still married, but I'd be dead, so it wouldn't matter. But he's also a death god, so I feel like he could just be toxic in the afterlife. I don't know, he survived. Let's do another round. Okay, so I managed to grab all three there. So we have Delilah Green from Delilah Green Doesn't Care, and I love Delilah. She is great. I would like to be married to her. She is awesome. And then we have Hannibal Lecter. Less great to be married to. Probably, yeah, that might be how I died. And Aiden from the Illuminae Files. I don't know if you can actually get married to an AI, but if you could, Aiden would be an interesting choice. Let's just throw it out there immediately that Delilah Green is going to survive, because she's awesome, she's nice, she wouldn't try to murder me, she wouldn't try to murder a bunch of people around me, and she wouldn't try to feed me people, so Delilah, you survived! Well done! Yeah, no, I don't think you can behead an AI. You can divorce one though, by just like moving away from where the AI is, and I feel like I would have to do that because Aiden does do a lot of really bad things, but I also love him, he's great, but it just wouldn't work out because I would be a bit afraid all the time that he was going to murder me. And likewise for Hannibal, I think I would also be afraid that he was going to murder me all the time. I would be more afraid by him trying to feed me any sort of meat, just like any sort of meat, like regular meat, not even just the human meat because they're gross, but like I don't want it. And I feel like he would be the kind of guy that would just try and sneak it in and be like, oh, it's just fruit puree, and it's actually like person eyeball juice or something, but I wouldn't know, I didn't make it, so just, you know, for my own safety, I'm gonna run away far from Hannibal and have him beheaded. Like a sane person. Although, if you do give me TV show Mads Mikkelsen Hannibal, I might change my mind, because I am weak. So I think we have 2 or 3 more rounds, and I'm just going to go anyway because this is fun. So, I managed to get all 3 again, wonderful. First we have Zoya from the Shadow and Bone series, and Zoya, she's great, I love her. Not like initial Shadow and Bone Zoya, but like King of Scars Zoya, she's awesome. Then we have Lady Macbeth from Macbeth. So, ooh, I don't want to be married to her. She might kill me. And then we have Rek from Legend, who, he's a really good warrior. I'm not sure he'd be so good of a husband, though, so let's figure this one out. I mean, Lady Macbeth is going to get beheaded because she murdered a king, tried to hide it, and then went a bit. So I think maybe not safe to have around, and I could be like, oh, you murdered a king, so it's time to be beheaded now. So, we are now between Zoya and Rek, and I feel like I'm going to divorce Rek, even though I love him, but there is like one scene in Legend where he slaps his wife, and like it doesn't sit super right with me. Like everything else is fine, but she's like a bit upset about something, and he just slaps her, and then I'm like, dude, what the fuck? So, nobody is going to be doing that to me, so, sorry Rek, we're going to divorce, it just won't work out between us. And me and Zoya will live happily until the end of my days. And I will be like, yes, queen. Yes. That's a happy one. Okay, let's do another one. Jude from the... Oh my god, what that book called? What that book called? What is it called? It's like The Cruel Prince. Jude from The Cruel Prince. I've clearly been talking for too long. Now my brain is broken. We have Thane. We have Thane from The Kraken Sacrifice by Katie Robert. He is a kraken. And a grumpy boy. And then who else do we have? Joanna from The Hunger Games. Oh no! Okay, hang on. Right, okay. Right, okay. I am going to behead Thane because he really annoyed me. He was really bad at dealing with grief. And then he was in this relationship and I just feel like he was really bad at communication. And these are not reasons to behead someone. However, I have to behead someone. So, you know... Sorry, Thane. So now we're between Jude and Joanna. Okay, right. So part of me feels like Joanna would like to be left alone and would like to just go about her business and, you know, be safe. But you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to divorce Jude because Jude is a little bit power struggly and I feel like we would clash because not that I want to have like the power or anything like that, but I just feel like that would be her main motivation in being like in a relationship or doing anything is trying to climb that ladder, and I'm not a climbing ladder person, so I just don't think we would work out. So I'm going to divorce Jude and I am going to say that I'm survived by Joanna, and that feels right because Joanna Mason from The Hunger Games, which I don't know if I said is who I'm talking about here, she's awesome. And I would like her to survive and go off and live a nice, peaceful, happy retirement. Okay, so last one, we have the Jackal from Red Rising, a deeply unpleasant boy. And we have Kay Scarpetta from the Kay Scarpetta crime... Oh my god, am I having a stroke? Crime detective. Crime thriller! Oh my god, the words, they're not coming to me. And then lastly we have Keenan from Wicked Lovely, who also don't love, to be honest with you. Yeah, okay, so first, right off the bat, we're going to behead the Jackal. He's evil. He does many, many nasty things, kills many great characters, and I hate him. So he gets to be beheaded and I get to go ha ha ha. And then we have Kay Scarpetta and Keenan. Who am I going to divorce and who am I going to be survived by? They're both not great as partners. Super not great. I feel like I'm going to divorce Keenan because he does have serious relationship issues and just... he's a problem. He would really annoy me. He's like the most annoying character from the Wicked Lovely series to me. It would never work out. We'd have some sort of like political alliance where it said that it should work out and I'd be like, no mate, sorry, you've got to go, divorced. So then we have Kay Scarpetta who would survive me and then she could find out who killed me or if I died of natural causes. She could just do the autopsy on me, it would be great. She has bad relationship times as well, but that's mostly because her partners get killed, and I mean that would be on track if someone murdered me, so you know, perhaps it all worked out. So there we have it. Those are the characters that I would behead, divorce, or would survive me, and I hope you enjoyed this game. I actually found that really fun and would be totally up for doing that again. That was yeah, it was a good time. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!